What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, bring you incredible guests from all over the world. So sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is a former Silicon Valley CEO. She's an award-winning business expert, a 3-time international best-selling author, and founder of both the Relaunch Company and the Fired Up Entrepreneur Signature Course. Please welcome Hilary DeCesare. Hilary, welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's so great to be here. So excited. Based on our earlier conversation, I'm really excited where this is going to go.
Oh my gosh, me too. I felt like we should have been recording that whole conversation.
We'll just have to come up with a whole bunch of new opportunities and stories to share.
So you've done quite a bit. You're a total powerhouse.
Thank you. So are you.
Trying to reach your level, though. I don't think I'm. But it's we're always a work in process, so it's okay.
Isn't that the truth? We're always a work in process, and I believe that we're always a work in process because we're always in some way, shape, or form relaunching.
Yes,
and those transitions that hopefully end up being transformations for you. But in today's time, like we were discussing, there's a lot going on. There's global relaunches that are happening. There's personal relaunches. There's business relaunches. I mean, you can't get away from it. And really never in the history of our lives when we've been on this planet have we been hit with so many, it's the trifecta of relaunches coming at us. And it can take us out at the knees, right? So
I think it has taken a lot of people out at the knees, just mentally and emotionally, which is really upsetting. But before we get into what the relaunching means, I want to bring up something I read on your website. You made your first $1 million at 30, and we kind of discussed what that meant. Was that with the businesses that you have now, or some of your what you did formerly?
Well, and I was laughing because I'm like, well, I think it was more like 27, but the show I was on, Secret Millionaire, was kind of encouraging me to say 30. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I could say I continued to do it, which I did. But it was initially I was at Oracle, which is a high tech, company in the Silicon Valley. I was there for almost 10 years. And from there, that's when the president went over to one of the top venture capital firms, Kleiner Perkins, and called me up and said, hey, I want you to train and coach our portfolio company execs. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting spin. And I had just had my 3rd child. I'm like, do I really want to do that? Is that really what I'm like? Is that? And he was so persistent that I did it. And it really put me on that path of becoming an executive coach and entrepreneurial coach, because I've literally not since I left Oracle and I started to do that. So 23 years I have been in the coaching world. It used to be called consulting.
Yeah.
Now it's called coaching.
So you kind of broke the mold before all these people started jumping on the coaching train, which is very cool.
I definitely did.
Is that where the relaunch came from, or company came from, or?
You know what? I had 3 companies before, raised almost at 10 million for one of them. It was a security company, tech company to keep kids safe online, and had, a series of life events. And we all have them. We all have our history, and I call our historic relaunches that have taken place. And one of the things that I always have clients do is actually, let's document the relaunches that you've had since you were little. And I, ended up having a slew of them. I think when I was asked, how many do you think you've really had? And these are really significant. Melanoma, divorce, raising, 3 little kids as a single mom, losing my mom to cancer when she was 78 years old. And it was, the reason that's even more significant is the women in my life, the women that came before me, grandma, great grandma, all lived into their hundreds. So my identity has always been of, hey, I'm going to, when I hit 50, I'm like, hey, I'm only halfway done. I got plenty of time. Yeah, plenty of time, right? We look at it and we're like, and then all of a sudden, for those listening out there, there's this point of midlife. And I love how Brene Brown classifies it as midlife is 35 until you're dead, which is so great because then you know what? You're just like, let's make it happen now.
Yeah.
Right. So with the relaunches that just kept hitting me and kept taking me down, I realized that one, there were categories of relaunches, and look at COVID, that would be considered the global relaunch. Economic situations, global. But then I was also getting remarried, and I was turning into the Brady Bunch. I have 3 of my own.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I have 3 of my own kids, and my husband E has 2, and we were trying to put that all together, living in 2 houses, trying to be married. Then we finally get to have an apartment together in San Francisco, downtown, so excited. And 6 weeks later, COVID hit. And all of a sudden I'm like, we're in a small apartment, and what is really my life, just all of these different, and there are so many others that, also hit me. But during this time in the business world, and this is a very impactful part, is that I was raising capital for the company, and one of my board members ended up, and I had that, that intuition that you just know is there. I didn't listen to it. And it came on so strong, still didn't listen. And finally, he took the company down. And I'm like, what is going on? I can't believe this. 2 weeks later, I got a call from the SEC, the Security Exchange Commissioner, basically saying, we're evaluating this person. And can you help? And it ends up that he was doing a Ponzi scheme. He ended up going to federal prison for 3 years. And it was then that I'm like, you know what? How do I continue to basically, you get knocked down, you get up again. How do I keep doing this? Yeah. And I work with clients, and I'm able to get them to be able to focus even when life is giving them so many things to cause them to not focus. And I'm not saying I get them to focus for long periods of time. I get them to focus for small bits. Yeah. And I came up with a concept that I realized was really significant. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it was all about IQ.
Yeah.
How intelligent are you? Processes, steps, procedures, all of that. And then in the 90s, it became EQ. Yeah. And it was how emotionally, connected can you be? And well, today's world is not about that. We're evolving. We're looking at, universal laws. We're now talking about things that I would never have talked about at Oracle, right? Talking about intuition. Hey, I just have this feeling this deal's going to, come in. They would be like, what? But then there's also these age-old wisdoms, right? I mean, you think about Think and Grow Rich or Florence Scovel Shinn. And when they wrote that, this was almost 100 years ago. So what I decided to do was really look at universal laws, look at this ancient wisdom, look at my history of literally helping people launch and scale their business for over 23 years in my own career. And I put together a formula, and it's a framework that no matter what's happening in your life, your business, the world, it's something to count on. And it's called 3HQ. Yeah. The HQ is the headquarters of yourself. So when you think about the H's are the head, the heart, and that highest self. And what is the highest self? The best version of you. It's where if you can bounce into that area as much as possible, you're going to get the outcome that you're actually going for. And so I always say I help you find that inner power so that you can become the powerhouse of your work and your life. And it just, in today's world, it's so needed. Old school ways of doing things, it's not leaving us fulfilled. In fact, it's leaving us depleted.
Yeah, it's kind of it's played out too.
It's played out. It's, I see people grinding and hear the frustrations and hear the, and this is really funny because I was working with a client yesterday, and she said, Hilary, I heard you mention, and I just said this on something about a month ago. I said, relaunch is in the relaunch phase right now. I'm relaunch coming into 2024. because things have changed so dramatically.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited in the direction we're going. But this person was just all over the map. And she's like, I like part of my business, but I don't like the other. I have, revenue that goes up and down. And I said, yeah, that's called the relaunch roller coaster. It gets really old fast because you're, beating your head against the wall saying like, what am I doing? What am I doing? So I said to her, and I would love to actually have you, if you want to participate, instead of telling her story, I'd love to tell your story.
Okay.
And the best way that I know how to be able to encapsulate what is 3HQ. Because sometimes I sit there and I'm like, headquarters of yourself. You got these divisions, departments, head, heart, higher. And people are like, what does that mean? Here's what it means. And you said at the very beginning when you were announcing this whole thing, you said tune in. Well, this process is called the tune in process. Okay. And what it does, 4 easy steps. I created it so that people could access this on demand anytime during your day, anytime that you're feeling like your energy is not where it should be to attract what you're going for. Whether it's you're about to jump on a conference call, whether you're going on a fantastic show like this, whether you are putting together a social media post, whatever it is, any meeting you're about to go into, you can tune in and it takes less than 2 minutes. And as one of those, this is the best part, I don't have to certify you to be good at it, right?
It's kind of like, from what it sounds like, it's almost like a reset for you.
It's a total reset. I call it the mini version of the relaunch. It's tune in. So I'd love to take you through it. And it's, again, 4 easy steps. So I need you to just be, open to this process and just, whatever comes to you. So step number 1 is head-based. And it is, what is the biggest challenge that you have going on right now for you? Business, life, what is that?
I'd say business. So my business is set up a little bit differently. It's very media-based. It's been very slow for me. And so I see all these opportunities where I can make it bigger and better. And I'm just, not generating the income that I'd like to continue to push it forward, the show forward, because I believe so much in my message.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is that right now you're kind of stalled out from your own revenue growth.
Correct. Yes.
Right? And you're saying that you want to make it bigger.
Yeah.
And basically, the challenge is, how the heck do I make it bigger?
Yes.
Right? All right. So if that is the challenge, we're gonna lock and load on that. But one thing I want to let everyone know, sometimes challenges can be positive as well. Sometimes they're your intention, right? I came onto this show and my intention was, hey, if I can impact one person walks away knowing the tune in. So that would be an intention that I did right before. So now step 2 is when I bounce you up, when I take you up to your highest self. Because the highest self is when you're operating at your highest level of energy. Energy, emotions all have a vibration, right? So I want you to not be vibrating at, hey, I'm not getting the revenue that I really want. I'm not as big as I really want. Why am I still so small? I'm doing everything. I'm trying everything. I need to bounce you out of that. I need to take you higher so that energetically you're attracting what you're really going for, which is more revenue.
Yeah.
Okay? And the solutions around that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, and again, this part is highest self, getting you to the energy. This is where I want you to tune in. And I'm going to have you change your channel from that low vibration to high. So what is a song that when you listen to it, it completely lights you up? It changes you. You can't be at a low vibrational level when you're listening to it.
I like that song by, was it Haley, I think, Be Kind?
Okay, love that. Okay, so I want you, and for everyone out there, you could be doing this as well. Think of that go-to song for you. So right now, Deanna, I want you to take Be Kind, and this is neuroscience-based. I've been studying neuroscience for over 10 years. I have a psychology degree. I like to bring it all together. So I want you to hear the song in your head. Now, if we weren't on this show, and we would be shut down for, using music that we're not supposed to, you could play it out loud. But right now, it's as good. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between when you're hearing it out there, when you're thinking it internally, it's all one and the same. So I want you to have that song go from your head to your toes, literally move your body, change your state all the way to your feet. Move. You're not moving enough. I'm watching
To move right now.
Oh, heck yeah.
And I already do it in my mind. Okay, so just
No, I want you to play the song. And right now, Deanna, I'm going to tell you, turn up the song. Come on.
Oh yeah. When I
Okay.
the gym
So right now,
blasted.
So right now, be kind. You're be kind to yourself. You can feel this song resonating in your body, right? I can see you lighting up right now on camera. So we now are going to go into the third step. And the third step is where we create a micro movie, this mini movie in your mind. Okay. And the most important part, and again, this is the heart of 3HQ. This is where you emotionally charge what you're actually going for. So you had that challenge of right now, I want bigger revenue. So I want you to see yourself on stage, see yourself having, like, looking at your account, looking at having money fall from the sky. Like you are like the Midas touch. You got everybody wanting to be on here. You are a revenue queen.
Yeah.
And I want you to see a color that you're wearing. And I want you to intensify that color. And I want you to tune back in to be kind, tune back into the song, and really charge this up, electrify this movie. All right. And now I'm going to anchor it. And I anchor it by you taking an internal picture in your mind. I'm going to have you open and close your eyes when I say click 3 times, taking that internal picture. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Click, click, click. That picture's going in Times Square. It's going up there. Which one are you going to put?
Which one am I going to put?
1, 2, or 3? 1, 2, or 3? Which one?
Probably 3.
Okay, 3. It's going up there. So now you have that as an anchor for you to remember exactly that feeling because you've charged it up. And you also have the image, you got the color, you got all different parts of your brain lighting up right now.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to go into step number 4. Okay. Step number 4 is when you create a micro action, a small micro action that would actually get you one step closer to your image, to that picture in your mind, to that billboard in Times Square. So you tune back in because the music is elevating you so you can think differently. And what would that one first micro step be? Because success likes speed, and we're not going to wait. As soon as we're done with this call, you're going to go and you're going to do it. So it has to be small enough that you can actually do it really quickly. What could be a micro step to get you to bigger revenue?
Oh, take more speaking opportunities, I guess.
Okay, so that's a bigger, take more speaking. Who could you contact right now to say, I'm absolutely available for a speaking opportunity?
So I know a bunch of networking groups here in the Chicagoland area that I could reach out to right away.
Okay, do you have one name?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
First name. What's the first name?
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay, so that's the point. Let's say you did 5 micro actions a day towards getting you bigger revenue. Where do you think you'd be at the end of the week? You'd have, let's say, if you did 3 a day, you'd have 15 micro actions towards that.
That's huge.
And if you ended up doing it for 2 weeks, 30, then 60. I mean, this is what I'm talking about of how can you bounce yourself back up? And it doesn't matter what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what's going on in the world. You have an obligation to your business, to yourself, that when you get on a call, when you are about to do a post, when you're about to do anything that has to do with your business, you need to be operating at your highest level so that when you're putting something out there, it's resonating with your clients at a higher level. Yeah. That's how revenue starts to be generated, not at a lower level where, oh my God, I hate what I'm doing right now. I can't stand doing this task, I don't like it. And so what I get people to do is create these micro actions for everything you need to do in all areas of your life: lead generation, conversion, sales, marketing, finance, profit margins, say what? How do you do that? I mean, all of this leadership, but it all goes back to the core 3HQ.
Yeah.
So if I can get you to 3HQ I can get you to literally create anything. More revenue, it's not even an issue.
Yeah.
Because if we go back to the laws, universal laws, if we go back to, and again, everybody, where did I come out of? High tech, Silicon Valley. This is a new paradigm of what I'm trying to get people to really think about these days. The old ways, the really old ways, let's modernize them.
Yeah.
That's the key. Let's take what once 100 years ago was said, and nobody at this point is utilizing them in a specific way in your business. This is how to elevate yourself. And this is how, no matter what relaunch is happening in your life, I can get people to tune in for a short amount of time. I tune in probably 20 times a day. It's an automatic peak performance habit for me now. Automatic. And we got celebrities doing it. We've got, high professionals, entrepreneurs that are just, killing it. I got startup entrepreneurs doing it. I've got people that have recently been fired from, their companies or their boards. They're doing it, and the results are insane. So what I'm going to ask you to do is that once you call Sarah,
okay,
I'm going to hold you accountable.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you to DM me and say, done. And for everyone else out there, I want you to do the 4-step process as well and reach out to Deanna, reach out to me and let us know. Just DM us and say, done.
I feel like it's a great way to get very clear on like the next step to solve the problem whatever that looks like in your life.
First, clarity comes with step 1. Yeah. Think about that, because too many people don't actually put themselves into, you're about to go into a meeting. What are you hoping to really get out of it? Right. Like, what is the challenge that you're about to face on this call?
Yeah.
On this Zoom call, in this, on stage? What is it? What's your intention? And so if we don't put that out there, then you're just leaving it to chance. Why?
Yeah.
Law of resonance literally says, and this is scientifically proven, that when you resonate at a high level, look at tuning forks.
Yeah.
Great example of this. When one starts to move, the other one starts to move as well. It gets bumped up. There's a great example of a study that was done on monkeys. And it was around one monkey had peanuts, and was cracking it open. The other one didn't. They had scan, on their head, and they were monitoring all this. And one of the monkeys was eating it. And so different areas of the brain was being lit up. Right. And guess what happened? Through mirror neurons, which is exactly what I'm talking about now, right. The other monkey had the same areas of their brains light up as well.
Wow.
So you can impact the outcome of the meeting that you're about to have, of the post that you're about to have, of anything that you're about to go do, but creating your financial budget. I mean, sometimes people are like, I hate it. I'm like, we got to change that, because you know what? Again, what thoughts create in the head, you either have empowering or disempowering. Yeah. And everything. I love Florence Scovel Shinn. She's a fabulous writer from the 1930s. And she says, your word is your wand. So imagine that, everybody.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Words are very powerful, for sure. And so who do you work with? Just entrepreneurs, business owners?
Yep. So anyone that has a digital presence, anyone that is looking to scale, right? So if you're low 6 figures right now and you're looking to go to 7 figures, reach out. This is like, our programs are perfectly aligned for you. I'd like to be able to, because I know I went through the actual 4 steps really fast. There is an awesome resource for everyone, and it's called tuneinpowertool.com, tuneinpowertool.com. And you will get the free download. There's video there. It just explains it a little bit more. And then, the biggest thing is accountability. Once you do it, because in your brain, we want the dopamine hit, just like you get when, you go onto your phone. there's a dopamine hit when you're like, yeah, done.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love to be done with stuff, right? So that's why I'm insisting that you reach out to me and say, Hilary, done.
I love it. So where else could they find you? So the tuneinpowertool.com is a free resource, but
Yeah, and then you can find me Instagram and Facebook and, all the other places at The Relaunch Co. The Relaunch Co.
Perfect. Okay.
And even our website is therelaunchco.com. So definitely just, try it. Let me know how it goes.
For sure.
And, even within a day, you can become a master at this, literally.
I can see that, and I like it. It's another way to kind of like rewire your thinking patterns so that you don't have so many negative thoughts come up, because that's just a natural thing that happens, I think, and it's a way to discipline your brain to think on the positive side, to believe that it's possible. So I love it.
We have just around 6,000 thoughts a day. This has been changed from the old version of 60 to 80,000. We don't have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. We have about 6,000, of which 85% of those are negative.
Yeah.
This is a way, tuning in literally elevates your energy, and it gives you energy on demand.
Yeah.
Low energy, relaunches are happening. Things are coming at you. You're feeling like, oh God, when's the next one?
Yeah.
And this allows you to get through your day. This allows you to stay focused on, all right, I don't have to stay focused all day long. I just need to stay focused for this one next meeting. How can I get through it? This is how you can do it.
Yeah, I love it. You guys can put those links in the show notes, so do not hesitate to go click those links, go connect with her on social media, and try the 4HQ. I think that it will benefit you. And if you want to go further, don't hesitate to reach out to Hilary. Hilary, this is the part of the show where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
I'd like to say, first off, we've got a new world, and we have to be acting in a new way. And the new way is by tuning in, by realizing that you truly have the capacity with 3HQ and a framework that you can count on all day long. And all we need sometimes is just to make it through the day. Yeah. And this is going to allow you to do that.
Absolutely. It stops the spins.
It stops you. And
spins.
Yeah. It stops it.
Well, Hilary, thank you so much for sharing your process and all the incredible things that you've done. Can't wait to see the more things that you got going on, and we might have to have you back for an update. So we appreciate you, and thank you for taking me through that process.
Deanna, my pleasure. Thanks again.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. As always, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.